Testing. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. I'm back, baby. Okay. Today I'm going to show you how you can set up your Wix website to toggle light mode or dark mode to spice up your site. What's up, you guys? Thanks for tuning in with your boy Nino, and I got a tutorial for you guys today on how you can set up your Wix website to toggle light mode or dark mode to add a little pop to your site. It's pretty cool. It's a little challenging, but overall I think you're really gonna like it. And if you do like it, hey, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel so you never miss another Wix tutorial like this one. So let's jump in and check this thing out. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start from scratch. So basically with this light mode and dark mode, you have to be specific about what elements you have on your website, okay? This is really big to note because like sometimes you just don't know when Wix is gonna come out with another like type of style on the backgrounds or on the color of the element, all those sorts of things. So just be cognizant right now that I am just going to run through this like it's just a type of look and feel that I want to get out of it, okay? So bear with me real quick while I go ahead and get this in play, and I really thank you guys for staying tuned in, and I hope everybody's doing well right now with the pandemic going on and everything. So I hope everybody's safe, okay? So let me go ahead and get through this real quick and set it up. Okay, so now that I got that dark and light mode straight right now, what I want to go ahead and do is head on over to my master page code, okay? So we're gonna go ahead, and if you don't know how to get to this, you just go over to your dev mode and you go ahead and say turn on dev mode. I don't want to turn off my dev mode right now because I'm showing you a tutorial, but you get the gist, okay? Then you come over here to your page code and you click that. Once you come down here to your masterPage.js, your JavaScript file, you go ahead and click on that. So you click on that, and then this is how it will show up here. You don't have to do anything in your actual page code, so that is just a great thing about that. Okay, so now let's go ahead and head on to our master page here. So as I see here, I'm gonna go ahead and scroll down through all of my other code that I have here, but I want to actually just focus on this block. So I'm just gonna go ahead and bring this down a little bit. So I pre-writ this code out so that I can make the tutorial a lot quicker and easier for you guys to follow through with, so I don't have to type it all out. So I just pre-typed it, and this is basically how you have it set up. All right, so you want to go ahead and import a local storage, okay? And I think I actually went over that in a tutorial, so I'm gonna go ahead and link that in the right hand corner as I speak right now. So for this, what we want to do is create an object, okay? This is gonna be an object that withholds all of the elements in the page arrays, okay? So I called it a site-wide text, site-wide boxes, buttons, and then header and footer information here, okay? And then also we want to do the dark light mode, okay? So wherever you define this schema of a dark mode, you can do that. You can define the schema of a light mode. So I'm gonna just say dark or light mode, because however you have your whole website, like I have my website right now and it's showing up as all, dark mode right now. So if I want to turn it to a light mode, I need to make sure that I have everything in place for me to do just that. Okay, so the big caveat here is, guys, if you go to Velo references and you go to your style guide, you can see that those are the different types of elements that are exposed to the style property that you can actually style programmatically. Okay, and that's basically what I'm going to be doing right here. This is just a basic, simple example, but when you're trying to like scale to a larger scale and actually make it for your whole entire website, make sure you weigh in the factors of all of those elements in that style guide. Okay, and I'll actually link that in the description below, so check that out. And also I'll link it into my website where I'll have this code readily available for you guys to go ahead and play with and experiment with it, just like I'm doing right now. Okay, so I want to actually touch up on this dark mode real quick. So the font color that I want for this dark or light mode, which I'm going to make it the light mode aspect of it. So the font color I want is black. Okay, and then the site-wide color I want for the box background to be white. Okay, I want the button color to be black. Okay, here. And then I want the header and footer, that's what this means right here, the header and footer, I want to be white. Okay, and then also the default schema, this is going to be all of the information that has the color scheme for all of these little things here that is on this page. Okay, I want to like let you guys know that I'm doing this from the header. Okay, so I'm doing this from the header with this little switch button. Okay, and I'll actually go into more details in a few seconds, but I just noticed that I think this is not the right type of background that I need. So make sure that you have your background to 0 here. Just wanted to show you that right now, and also to clear myself. All right, and then if you want, you can go ahead to overlay items and go to header, and just make sure that header is in the right type of format and color that you want. Also make sure the center background is actually at 0. Okay, that's very important. And then also just having your background to the color that you want it. Okay, and I see that the color I have is that one. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and get back to the default schema. So this default schema is going to be everything here that holds all the information on all of the buttons and styles and stuff like that. I have it actually shown here to be console logged out so that we can actually look and see the changes there. So this will be saving the default color scheme. Okay, and then this will also be checking the local WIX storage to see if the dark mode or the light mode is enabled. Okay, so I'm just gonna put that in there for the time being. All right, and then we're gonna have to add event listeners here so that when there's an onChange event that happens with this switch, everything else on this page and everything else on the header and footer will update accordingly. Okay, so as you can see, I have this box here. I do not have a traditional strip. Okay, I have a box right here because I think that only the boxes show up as you can style programmatically. So definitely keep that in mind. If you guys want, you guys can put a strip down and then put a box inside of that strip, and then just like, you know, make sure that the box covers the whole strip. You guys can do that as well. Just get creative with this, you know, this would be great. So let me go ahead and back to my master page code. And so basically this is going to be on our onReady function. Okay, what you want to know is that for the save default color scheme, what we're going to be doing is, as you can see, these things have like this text thing right here at the corner here. Overall, what you can do here is you can actually select by type. Okay, so this is like pass a selector string with the name that I'm showing you like right over here. So this right here is just the type. Okay, so as you can see, this has a type right here. This has a type, but ultimately it's not in the style guide, so it might not happen the way I want it to. But this has a type text, type button, and then this has a type box here, and then the header has a type header, as you can see. So basically what you can do is go ahead and grab all of the parameters that are labeled as text, or all the parameters that's labeled as a box or a button. Okay, and this is very cool because it's actually a function that returns an array of all the selected element objects that are within that type. Okay, so right now what I'm doing is I'm collecting an array. So this would be an array, so it would be like just like this, you know, and then it would have all the, you know, little nicks in there, just like this. So it would normally like be just like this. So it will be this, and then text 1 2 3. Okay, so basically this would actually show up here in the text, and then I'll just add this example here for the box, the button, and the header and footer. Okay, just so that you can match everything up. All right, so basically what this is doing here is grabbing this array, and we're gonna go through a for each loop. Okay, this is an intermediate to expert level type of coding. So if you don't get it, I'm gonna go ahead and try to explain it to you the best way I can right now. Okay, so what this is doing is it's collecting an array of items. So let's say that you have a list of items. Okay, so at a smaller level, like we can have just item 1 2 and 3. And what this for each statement is doing is iterating through each one of these things here. So what we'll do is we'll see that this element, which is a parameter, this text element, so this will be our parameter. This is our parameter for each one of these characters inside of this array right here that I have for this particular example. So basically this text element will have 1 as the first thing. Okay, and then it would go through and iterate to 2. Okay, and then it will iterate to 3 until it is complete. At least it completely goes through the whole entire array. So that's how a for each statement works. It just keeps going until it stops at the end of whatever that array item is. Okay, so what it's doing here is we're actually getting this element, which would be this right here, and what we're going to do is we're going to check the type. All right, and the type should come back out as like a text. Okay, so it would just be like just the type's name. Okay, which in this aspect would be just text. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to create this default schema, default text, and we're going to push that to that object slash array here, and we're going to push that in the text element HTML file. Okay, that way we can get this type of color and this preset type of white color here for all of the text items here. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing for the box here, and then the same thing, oh excuse me, I clicked inside of the editor, but also we're going to do it for the boxes, the buttons, and then also the header and footer. Okay, and let me just go ahead and make sure that my footer, my background here for this one is zeroed out so that we can see the change. Okay, that's the text. And let's see here, let's go to the footer, make sure we change the design of the footer to match accordingly, zeroed. Okay, cool, nice, awesome. So now, as you can see here, it's iterating through this header and footer. Now, what is a big caveat about this whole thing ordeal is that sometimes like the header and footer will actually show up as a color. It'll say like color underscore 11 or color underscore 25, stuff like that. So what I suggest is you guys like come in here and change this however you would like. I'm actually going to add it to these other ones here as well, because I've actually seen that it can happen at other different type of element types. Okay, So let me go ahead and do that real quick. So now that I put that in, basically let's go ahead and go through it real quick, just to understand the methodology. Okay, so right now I have a ternary condition statement. So that's just like an if-else statement in a straight line. So basically what it's saying is, let's go through this parameter here. Let's go ahead and check and see if this has a matching of this color underscore. If it has a matching of a color underscore, let's go ahead and change that. So if that is true, this match is an operator that is matching any like type of regex, and this is a regex form. Okay, just so that you guys know what I'm talking about, this is called a regex. Okay, so that's how you actually spell it. But essentially what's happening here is that we're going to set that color manually. All right, we're going to manually set that into our default schema, because for some reason it doesn't come through, the style background doesn't come through as a original, you know, color code. So what we're going to do is we're going to match it up. So if we're going to match that regex style, and if that is true, that it does have some type of color underscore in it, then we're going to label it as such here. Okay. But if not, then we're going to go ahead and just keep that original here. Okay. And if that original is something other than like what it needs to be, so if it's undefined, then it's going to, this OR operator is going to actually switch it to just this one right here. Okay. So it's going to say, well, if this is undefined or is it null, then let's go ahead and take this one over that first parameter. Okay, so basically this is an if-else statement, but they call it a ternary conditional statement, which you have a question mark and then your true statement that is here, okay, separated by a colon, and then your false statement that I have here. Okay, and this is all getting pushed over to that array of the site-wide HF color. So if you don't actually understand what I just said the past few minutes right now, all I need for you guys to do is just copy and paste this sucker right into your master page JavaScript file, and you know, it's just very beneficial and helpful to actually know the process of how it gets uploaded into you know, your object right here. So just make sure that you're cognizant of that. But if you're not, then just go ahead and just copy this down and paste it. Okay. So what we're going to do here now is talk about the check dark mode. All right. So what I have here is a console log of checking whether or not the dark mode is enabled. And we're going to do a JSON.parse because you never know what might happen to this item here. So we just want to make sure that we parse through that information and grab that true or false that we so desire. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep this in our dark light mode object. Okay, and we're going to put that in as enabled. Okay, so if the dark light mode is enabled, we're going to make that an if-else statement. Okay, so if that is true, we're going to switch to the dark mode. Okay, if that is an else, we're going to go straight back to the default mode. All right. So the default mode in this case would be our dark mode here. So I'm just going to change and update this whole thing right here real quick and just make it switch to dark or light mode. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do here. And I'm going to go ahead and replace all those results. All right, so let's go back to check dark mode. All right, so once it goes back through checking that dark mode, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and check that dark mode switch as true. Okay, so that when you're seeing it right now, it's actually in its enabled mode. So that means that it's actually in its true format. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, sorry. But anyways, I think we toggle on by default. So that means that it's true. Okay. And so that means that this is in its true state. If it's not, then it's going to switch to the default, which is false. Okay. So based on me playing around with this before I did this video, it probably may be still switched on or off, depending on, you know, what my WIX storage has on file right now. And this is actually getting stored at the local level, so it's not going to change as much. And you're gonna have to like set parameters in there to take your local item off if you want, if someone is not on there. But typically this is local, so it would probably stay on for like for at least 5 to 6 months, or up to a year. So this is local storage. Just to be hindsight, I actually talked about this. If you don't know about it already, just go ahead into the right hand corner, click on that information box, and you'll learn a little bit more about local storage and session storage. Okay. But basically what this is doing is just like collecting that information based upon the previous time that you have clicked this switch. All right, so let's go ahead and see the event listeners that we have added up here at the top for our onReady. So we're right here at this bad boy. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna see that dark mode switch one, okay, and we're gonna see that onChange. We're gonna make this an onChange event, okay? And this event handler happens when that sucker changes. So if it changes and it's enabled here, we're gonna go ahead and switch to that default mode. All right, if that enable is false, we're gonna go ahead and switch to that dark or light mode that you have decided in the code. All right, so once we come down here, we're gonna go ahead and listen in on like switch to dark or light mode, and we're gonna just talk about that for a little bit right now. So the dark and light mode that is enabled, true, or you know, this local set item, this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be setting this item to true. And so that is what we're getting up here at the top right here. We're going to be getting that type of item. Well, we're going to be setting that item to true if we do switch to our dark or light mode. Okay. Now what this is doing is a regular expression here. So regex, just like I was saying, regex, however you guys pronounce it, this is actually taking up all of the HTML tag cleaner, and it's just taking all of the things that you would see like this right here. All of this stuff right here would be taken out, and it would just give us the text just after that. Okay, so just give us the text information, and this is all the things that we want to play with. Okay, so this is going to take out all of those things and make it blank. Okay, it's going to take it all out. All right, and then what it's going to do is we have this for each statement here, just like I talked about before. It's going to iterate through all of those site-wide text. So it's going to go ahead and set each element ID .html to a replaceable span color of the dark light mode switch, okay, that you have created for that type of color. Okay, so it's going to switch that, as well as it's going to do the same thing for your boxes and your buttons, and then also your header and footer right here. And the reason why I have this console log here is so that you can see your ID in action and what it is. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and comment that out, and then also I'm going to comment this one out as well, just so that you guys can just see what is happening. Okay, so now as you can see, we're actually switching to default mode. Okay, this is the default mode that we actually stored previous to this actually being turned on. So we're gonna capture all of these like different things here for the buttons, the box, the header, the footer, the text. All of that stuff is going to be saved, and we can actually switch that back to the same default as we see before. And then also we're going to be setting this local item to false, so that then it doesn't take off anything that we got going on here. And then also we're going to update that object. All right, So as you can see here, that is about it. That's like very simple. And in my mind, it's simple, but it's definitely an intermediate or expert level way of like thinking about these things. All right, so once I have that all set up and ready to go, I think it's all good. And if we do have some errors, then we'll just have to figure that thing out. But as for now, I think this works. So let me go ahead and click save, because you always got to save your work. And let's go ahead and preview this bad boy. All right. So as you can see, I didn't bring my box over all the way, but also you can see this is my type, okay? These are all the types here. As you can see, it already iterated through all of my elements here. So as you can see, we have the default text element, HTML, all those HTML things here. That is this here, here, and also up here and stuff like that. Then your site-wide box background color here. So we have this as the background color. This one is 0 for the button color, and the site-wide color here, okay? So as you can see, this is getting all of the information here, and we have our page elements on the next one right here. So we have the site-wide text here, we have the site-wide boxes, we have the site-wide buttons, and the site-wide header and footer. As you can see, this is actually pulling in that information. This is awesome. All right, so once we have those objects in place, now we'll just come over here to our toggle and we're going to toggle that on. Okay, so as you can see, the background has changed, but not for this, which is weird. But essentially what we're doing here is we're changing all of this stuff here. As you can see, my footer changed, this stuff was supposed to change, but as you can get the gist of it going from light mode to dark mode, it's pretty neat. I really like this whole entire setup. And let me go ahead and back and troubleshoot this thing while I'm here with you guys still right now. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, click on this box here. I'm gonna align it to the left. Okay, that shouldn't have happened. I'm just gonna align it a little bit more this way so that we can get that out of the way. Let's go ahead and click this, change the strip background. Forgot to bring that down to 0. So I'm gonna hit preview. Awesome. So what we have here is all the 3 objects that we have to save this information. And then what we're gonna do here is toggle this on. Okay, as you can see, it's 7:01. We toggled everything on and it's working. Toggle off. Also, this timer here, as you can see, I'm doing it late at night, but you know, I'm trying to push out this content for you guys, so hopefully this helps out. Okay, but basically this is it. This is how you turn it from light to dark. Okay, so as you can see, some of the text did not actually convert over, and that's because some of it was already customized. So if it is already customized with a different type of style of font, or you know, is a bold or italicized and stuff like that, then that information will not get changed. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that. And that's why you saw that my Creatively Nino at the top left just didn't convert, because it actually has different things inside of it that is making it not transferable to just make it black or make it a different color for your light mode. I just wanted you guys to be informed about that. So make sure that all of your text is converted correctly. And if not, then you guys need to actually just update some of the code and make it so that the HTML can match that same type of HTML format, and just like make it that black color. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely give it a shot. If you have any questions, drop it below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And if you like this video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. All right, ciao. And before you go, make sure you subscribe to my channel for more great tutorials every weekend. Okay, also check out my website to find out other tips and tricks about Wix. This helps us do what we do, and this channel is supported by the viewers just like you. You can also click the thumbnail and watch another video from this channel. See you in the next video, guys. Okay, ciao.